He is a very funny man. He made his network debut on this television program a few months ago. Please welcome back Dennis Miller.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Nice to be working. People tend to forget this is a job, actually a rather involved job. And the easiest job in the world has to be coroner. Surgery on dead people. A lot of leeway there, huh? What's the worst thing that could happen, huh? If everything went wrong, maybe you get a pulse. I think the hardest job in the world has to be bank guard in Alaska. You got 50 customers in the joint. They're all wearing ski masks. Don't you love it when they warn you about bank robbers? Be on the lookout. He's armed and dangerous. I think armed says it all for me, huh? I mean, when are they ever armed and gregarious? Yeah. Sure, occasionally you'll bump into an Amish minister packing an Uzi, but can you really bank on it? Flew in yesterday from L.A. The film on my flight was Search for Spock. I've never been a real Star Trek fan, but I've always admired the phaser as a weapon. Seemed a little limited, though. We only had the two functions, either stun or kill. I always thought they should have had a more existential setting, like maybe one for, melancholy. Jim, I gotta get off this planet. This space gig just doesn't make sense anymore. You know, I need a day job. Driving over here tonight, I get stuck behind a very old woman driver. I don't think people should be allowed to drive if they're old enough to remember when there weren't any cars. Old people always drive like they're constantly looking for an address. And the worst thing is the belt on her coat is hanging out of the car door, dragging alongside the ground. You just want to get up next to her, veer your car over, run over the belt, jam her face up against the window. Hey, Aunt B, let's pick it up. I got a life to lead, Cha-Cha. I think the single most frustrating aspect of driving has to be the red light. You spend your whole life stopping at red lights. Then at the end, there's a very cruel irony. When you die, they let your funeral procession run the red lights on the way to the cemetery. Yeah. You know, because when you're dead, it's important that you make good time, huh? Well, I'm dead, but I'm early. I think I'll have a cordial. Well, what do we have coming up in November? Summit talks with the Russians. Negotiations, as the news media likes to refer to it. How much actual negotiation goes on in these meetings? I guess the Russian guy comes into the room. Yeah, I'm thinking right off the top of my head, we need complete destruction of your socio-political system, total control of every facet of your daily existence. In a nutshell, guys, complete global domination. Our guy goes, you know, I'm going to have to get back to you on that. I just don't know. I don't know anything about the Russian people. All I see is this stock news footage of their parades. I presume that's all they see of us, in which case they must think our ultimate weapon is a 120-foot floating underdog balloon that we send out, you know. All the greatest minds in Russia are working on a Simon Bar Sinister balloon to counteract our strike capability. You know, it's a federal deficit. It's now $1 trillion. $1 trillion. And it goes up all the time. You know what that means? Somewhere out there, there's somebody who still insists on lending us money. I don't know about you. Somebody runs a tab like that on me. I get a call from him hitting me up for more. I think I'm going to go, hey, my man. You got that trillion you owe me. That's 18 zeros, babe. Yeah, I got to see something, a deuce, anything, you know. Thank you. You've been very nice. We'll be right back.
back with Dennis Miller, folks. Hi. Miller, you're funny. Nice to see you again.
Thank you, David.
Really fun stuff. Been busy?
Very much. Yeah, I'm moving back east. I've been living in L.A. for
How long have you lived in L.A.?
A couple years.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, you know, we don't have bees out there. We have medflies. That's what we have.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated each year with the annual medfly sighting where they find 5 fertile medflies in L.A. How do you find 5 insects in a city the size of Los Angeles? You know, they got 10,000 illegal aliens going through that town every day. Nobody can get a beat on them, but they nailed these 5 flies, all right? I want to meet the guy who determines whether they're fertile or not, huh? Talk about your bad part-time job.
Do you enjoy being out there in the middle of the show business capital of the free world?
Yeah, I think garish is my milieu.
Really?
I love ostentatious stuff. What about Liberace? This is my hero. I think he seems like a nice man. I think he's gone way too far with purchasing kink. You get the feeling somewhere along the line, Liberace's parents refused to buy him a class ring. You know, yeah.
So when you're traveling and working, you work clubs and stuff around the country?
Yeah.
How do you spend your time? Because you're there a week at a time and you get all your days free?
I try to watch TV. I like bad TV. I like McNeil Lure and bad TV. Those are the 2 things I watch. I was watching McNeil Lure the other night, and I'm amazed at the preponderance of mass murderers in our country. They almost like have their own fan club now. You know, like the thing that kills me is how we coddle these people. You know, a guy kills somebody. What's the first thing we do? We put him in a hospital for observation. You better keep an eye on him. He might do something crazy, huh? What are we looking for? Red wine with fish? White slacks after November 1st? Yeah. The murder itself tipped me off, huh? That was my first big clue Colonel Mustard was having a bad day. And I love these game shows. Game shows are very big now. They have their own magazine, Soldier of Wheel of Fortune. I like Family Feud. This is if I watch Family Feud, I can't leave the house for a couple of days because I know these people are out there. I like the end of the show after they've won and they're celebrating and you get to meet all the family mutants who couldn't make the team, huh? I was watching Let's Make a Deal the other night. That's back on here. Monty stumped the entire crowd. He offered $50 to anybody who could produce some dignity or self-respect. And,
Okay. Gee, it's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
Terrific
David.
job.
Thank you
Come
for
back
having me.
again.
All right.
Dennis Miller. We'll be right back, folks, with David.